Good afternoon. We're starting with the part 3 of SC-900 certification exam. In this part, we will be covering another set of 25 questions and answers, starting with question number 76. Which of the following tool helps to deliver intelligent, automated, and integrated security across an organization's domains such as identities, endpoints, and application and email? The correct option here is the XDR. XDR system is designed to deliver intelligent, automated, and integrated security across an organization's domain. It helps prevent, detect, respond to threat across the identities, endpoints, and application, email, IoT infrastructure, and the cloud platforms. Question number 77. Which of the following is not a function of Microsoft Defender for Cloud? Correct option here is stores and tracks the diagnostic data, including firewall and the audit log alert. Question 78. Your security admin needs to protect Azure resources from the DDoS attacks. Which of the given Azure DDoS protection tiers will help your admin to enhance protection from the attacks targeting the Azure virtual network resources? The correct option is option 2, standard. Question 79. Which of the following enables inclusion of risk as a signal in the conditional access policy decision in Microsoft Entra? Correct answer is identity protection. Identity protection in the Entra ID enables the evaluation of risk in the conditional access policies. Question 80. Which of the following type of attack uses the formal email to convince user to sign in and change their password? The correct option here is phishing attack. And phishing attack is when a hacker sends an email that appears to come from the reputable source. The email contains a credible story such as security breach, instructing the user to sign in and change their password. Question 81. Which of the following service performs the following functions leveraging event data from your on-premise Active Directory? Monitor and analyze user activities and information across your network, creates a behavioral baseline for each user, identifies anomalous behavior, suspicious activities, and events. Correct option here is the Microsoft Defender for Identity. Which of the following is not a question answered by the Entra ID identity governance? Correct option here is can users self-report? These controls are appropriately limiting their access. Question 83. Which of the following is not a service provided by on-premise Active Directory domain services? Correct option is native support for mobile devices, SaaS, and the LOB line of business apps that requires modern authentication methods. Question 84. Entra ID can be configured to allow users to authenticate with their social identities such as Facebook, Google. In this scenario, Facebook and Google's are serving as. Correct option is identity providers, because the identity providers maintains and manages the identity information while providing authentication service to application. Question 85. You can configure access to the secret in the Azure Key Vault using Azure RBAC. The correct option here is option 2, that is yes. Both the access policies and the Azure RBAC can be used to control access to the content of the key vault. Question 86. Which principle of zero trust is demonstrated by these services or features? Just in time and just enough access, RBAC and conditional access, sensitivity label, and policies. The correct option here is the option 2, least privilege access. Question 87. Which of the following services helps to implement identity as the primary security parameter? Correct option here is Entra ID conditional access policies. Question 88. To enable users to securely access company resources from anywhere, the security team wants to support auth tokens, one-time password as a second authentication factor for the Enter ID. What Microsoft solution enables use of auth token for Enter ID and the other identity providers? Correct option is option 2, Microsoft Authenticator. Question 89. Adherence to mandatory regulations, whether multinational, national, state, or federal law, or the industry that an organization must follow is known as. Correct option is compliance, because the compliance focuses on adherence to the regulations. Question 90. Which can you protect by using the information protection solution in the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center? Correct option is sensitivity data from being exposed to unauthorized user. Question 91. Which Microsoft portal provides information about how Microsoft manages privacy, compliance, and security? Correct option is Microsoft Service Trust Portal. Question 92. Which feature provides the extended detection and response capability in Azure Sentinel? Correct option is the integration with the Microsoft 365 Defender. Question 93. What are the two reasons to deploy multiple virtual network instead of using just one virtual network? Correct options are to isolate the resource and to meet the governance policies. Question 94. You have an Azure subscription. You need to implement approval-based time-bound role activation. What should you use? Azure Active Directory and Privilege Identity Management. That is option 3 is the correct option. Question 95. What can you use to deploy Azure resources across the multiple subscription in a consistent manner? Correct option is the Azure Blueprint. Question 96. Which two tasks can you implement by using data loss prevention policies in Microsoft 365? Each correct answer presents the complete solution. Now there are two options which are the correct one, that is option 1 and option 3. Option 1 is display policy tips to user who are about to violate your organization's policies, and option 3 is protect document in Microsoft OneDrive that contains sensitive information. Question number 97. In hybrid identity model, what can you use to sync identities between the Active Directory domain services and Azure Active Directory? Correct option is the Azure AD Connect. Question 98. What is the purpose of the Azure Active Directory password protection? The correct option here is option 4, to prevent user from using specific word in their password. Question 99. What is the function of conditional access session control? Correct option is prompting multi-factor authentication. Question 100, that is the last question in this part 3. Which Microsoft Defender for Cloud metric displays the overall security health of the Azure subscription? Correct option is option 3, Secure Score. Thank you very much, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. You have a good day ahead.